If you want to show your support and encourage my website and my YouTube channel, you can become a patron. Simply visit Patreon/Diorama Workshop today.
I want to give a huge thank you to Chris Jones for sponsoring today's video.
Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. Today is really exciting because it's been 2 months in the workings. I've been more like procrastinating for 2 months in order to film this and build it. So I'm very excited to show you the third and final Death Star basic hallway, which is the style C, which includes the full basic doors and a third wall 12 centimeters behind, giving it full depth and allowing you to create really movie accurate displays, which includes a full 12 centimeter wide hallway behind to allow you to place extra figures just like in the movie set. Once you finish building this, you can build more and then stack them one on top of each other or side by side. I'll have a separate tutorial for that. So sit back, enjoy. My name's Frank Diorio. You're watching DioramaWorkshop.com. So here's all the materials that you're going to need in order to build your basic hallway style C. You're going to need some white foam core, some black foam core. You're going to need the free blueprint downloads, the free decal downloads. You're going to need some LED lights if you decide to do a deluxe ceiling, some scotch tape, some fiskars or scissors, X-Acto knife refills, a ruler. You need to build yourself either a archway or a blast door, large blast door, or a column in order to act as your supports. These are optional. What is needed is, well, in my design, I'm putting 2 doors, but you need at least 1 door so that you can see through it to the other side. So you need to build yourself a door or 2 or 3, depending on how many you want to put in your own design. You're going to need a hot glue gun refills, a large glue stick, a small glue stick, a pencil sharpener, a pencil, a black Sharpie, and a pointy triangle X-Acto pen. Oh, and most importantly, you're going to need some black gloss vinyl for your Death Star floor. In order to get your free blueprints and decals, just go to my website, dioramaworkshop.com, go to Tutorials, and go to Speed Index. Scroll down until you find Star Wars A New Hope. Go to Basic Hallway C, click on Decals, and that'll bring you here. And then you have all the decals you need to build my style C over here. Now, if you want to place your own style, then you can choose any of these hallway panels over here. And for the blueprints, return to the tutorial speed index, and this time follow hallway C to blueprints. Click yes, and that'll bring you over here. And then just click your little PDF icon there, and then download and print. Now you're going to notice in your blueprint downloads that there's 9 diorama blueprints in the kit, but this is because it's for style A, B, and C. So if you go to print page number 1, this is where you see the style, how the style C fits in the back with an extra layer of hallway over here that you don't have in style A. But the style C that we're doing today is the full 48 centimeters deep and by the same 72 centimeters wide. Now you don't have to do 72 meters, oh my God, how huge that would be, 72 centimeters in order to do yours, but you just have to do multiple of 6 centimeters because that's the width of the Death Star panels, okay? And then the style C is really 3 layers, okay? You're gonna have the front layer, a mirrored back layer, and then a rear wall for what you're gonna be seeing through the doorways, okay? Now, every panel is 15 centimeters in height. So you need to do the 72 centimeters or the width that you decide that fits on your particular shelf, but it has to be 15 centimeters for all 3 layers, okay? The only difference you're going to be doing is that you're going to be removing chunks of 2, okay, which means 12 centimeters in order to fit 1 door. So if you're putting 2 doors like I am, you're going to remove 2 panels and then 2 panels. In order to help you do that, I made myself a template on a sheet of paper here. Actually, it's 3 sheets of paper scotch taped together with the 6-inch or 6 centimeter, I should say, panels times the 15 centimeter height. So this is the actual width of my wall. Now, my doors are 12 centimeters wide, 6 plus 6, because it's 2 panels, right? And so you can decide to place it anywhere you want. If you only want 1 door, then you just place it here. Then you measure the number of panels you have on that side, the number of panels you have on this side. You could place it here, you could place it there. It's up to you. That's what's cool about it. It's like Lego, right? And so if I wanted to put 2 doors, I could put 2 doors like this and then have 3 and then 2 and then 3, or you can put it like this and then put it over here and then have 1 on each side. I like it symmetrical, mirrored, so that's why I'm doing examples like this, but you could have 1 and then all this space over here. You could maybe take one of these large round walls and place them in between like this. It really is up to your imagination. Now, for me, if you want to do the exact design that I'm doing, I created this with little miniature versions, scaled down versions of the doors. And so what I'm doing is I want to do 2 doors, and I want to place my 2 hallways side by side. So in order to have the one hallway on the right, which ends with a half sticker, it means that I want to put a half sticker here on this end so that I'll be able to put a full sticker in between or overlap the 2 dioramas in order to continue the 6 centimeter sticker. What I'm going to do is that in my design, I have a half and then 3 full panels. So that brings me to here. And then I want to have 3 full panels in between, which means that I'm going to put my door like that. So for my design, if you want to follow along exactly, you're going to have to cut a 9 centimeter strip over here, and then cut a 18 centimeter strip for the center, and then a 21 centimeter strip over here for the end. Okay, if we go to the other pages in the blueprints, you'll see that page 2 you don't need, that's for style A. Page 3 you don't need, that's style B. Page 4 is what we'll be using. So put this one aside, or only print this one if you want. And then page 5 we don't need, that's style A. Page 6 you don't need, style B and style C. Page 7, so this is good. And then page 8 is useful as well because it gives you the placement of the walls once we're done. And then page 9 is just a representation of what your possibilities are for when you assemble your diorama. Now, if we go back to page 1, the first thing we want to do is cut a 72 centimeter wide. Again, this is the dimensions that I can fit on my shelf. If your shelf is shorter, you can just make it shorter. But remember, 6 centimeter gaps, right? Or increments. So 72 centimeters by 48 centimeters on a white foam core for your ceiling and a black foam core for your floor. If you can't find the black for your floor, you can use a white as well because you're going to be covering it in glossy vinyl. Okay, so I want to have 72 centimeters wide. This sheet is 76 centimeters. 72, so that brings me that. And then 72 from this side. I'm going to align this and trim. Keep your X-Acto at the right angle, 90 degrees if you can. Try not to make it go sideways like that. And now that we have the 72, I said I need 48 this way. 48. Align, press down hard. Lower the blade, never cut like this. You want to have as much surface as you can on your blade when you're cutting. And always with a fresh blade, if you do 10 cuts or more, it's a good idea to change the blade because foam core is the killer of the blades. So pressing down on the ruler, move, press down, and then pressing down still. There we go, remove that. So this is our floor piece. Now we're going to cut the same for our ceiling, but we'll have to cut it 2 times. One for the grid if you're doing a light up ceiling, and then for the top piece. Before we move on to the ceiling, I want to apply the vinyl to the floor. Now my DC vinyl that I have here, the roll isn't wide enough for the style C hallway because it has that extra 12 centimeter in the rear. If you look at the blueprint over here, you'll see the 27 centimeters is the length of your first hallway, and then the wall will be in the gap here between the 27 centimeters and the 12 centimeters in the back. So what we want to do is if we have a spacing here or a seam of the DC fixed vinyl, it won't show because this will be covered by your Death Star wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mark at 32 centimeters over here, and then 32 centimeters on this end, and then join that. Okay, this is an exaggeration of the pencil just to show you that now if I place here, I have enough DC fix on this side, and then I have enough on the outside as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll out 2 times a little more than the length because I want it to overlap so that I can trim it after to make a cleaner edge, right? And then we'll have to do it in 2 passes, okay? I want to unroll enough without wasting too much, maybe like an inch or more on each side there. A little excess on this end too. So here, let's cut it over here. If I take my ruler, I should be able to trim it here like that. Now I just want to do the same thing again. This is where I cut it over here. Trim this. I'll reapply the little silicone tape to keep it together. So there's enough in the width of this roll for me to make 2 style C hallways. So I'll keep this one aside for when I decide to make another one, and then we'll use this side over here to do the rear of today's build. So let's just trim this half over here like this. Put this aside for my next hallway style C. So let's start with the smaller half, which is the rear of the diorama, and the technique is the same for both sides. What you want to do is you want to find a scrap piece of foam core that is larger than the width of your vinyl, and what you're going to do is you're going to be using this to push forward your vinyl. You're going to be leaving it raised like this, and then as you push forward with your hand, you're going to be lowering this so that you're going to eliminate the bubbles. So the pushing is what causes the lowering of the vinyl. So you just let your hand be guided by the pushing of this over here. So this way you're going to have a nice flat surface on this end, okay? Because if we were to peel the whole thing and then lay it flat, you'd have all these bubbles and it is just a nightmare. You want to avoid that. Start by peeling just a small amount. Then I'm going to fold this over, okay, so it's out of the way. Now I'm going to align this as much as I can. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect on the line because it's going to be covered by a 6 centimeter wall here. So you just want to kind of align it, and then you want it to go past this edge over here. Before we apply this, you want to make sure that you remove all the dust and that there's no like hot glue little snots or anything like that, because it'll show through the vinyl. Take your foam core, start pressing like this, okay? Then put your hand under and pull, and then move this forward. Pull this 1-2 inches, move this forward. And we're just going to keep doing that till we get to the end. If it starts getting messy with this, you can always tear it. Pull, pull. Excellent. Perfect surface. Now we want to flip this upside down. You're going to take your X-Acto and you're going to lean it against the edge, and you're just going to trim the excess, okay? Go slowly. Try not to trim the foam core. You don't want to be cutting into the foam core. You just want to go like this. You want to make sure that the floor is nice and flush with the edge. Okay. Do the same thing over here. And then we want to cut over here. So we have one side done. Now what we want to do is do the same on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a larger piece of scrap foam core that fits all the way across over here. My vinyl, I'm going to align it close to over here and have it overlap an inch or so. Peel a little bit. Try not to put creases on your floor. You don't want to have folds here. Now fold this under, press down. Now I'm going to align this with the top, let it overlap a little bit. I'm just going to press lightly here first. Now if there's a slight overlap here, it doesn't matter, because the thickness of your door is going to go and hide the gap there. So carefully put your hand under, peel back a little bit, lift it, and then bring it down with this scrap foam core there. Lift and pull, let the foam core bring it back down. Lift and pull, just like that. All the way to the end. Carefully turn this around. Cut along over here. We can put this aside for now. Now, if you're doing LED light up deluxe like I am, you need to cut one piece of 72 by 48 in white, and then you're going to have to measure all of these dimensions over here, okay, in order to create your areas that you're going to cut out, and then this is where your light will shine through. Now, this is the same technique as we did with the style A and B. The only difference is that because we're adding this rear hallway over here, you have to cut out an extra row of lights over here, okay? And since the technique is the same, I'm going to spare you all of the 1-hour tutorial on how to prepare and cut your ceiling strips, and I'm just going to skip like magic to a completed ceiling just like this. Now, the main difference in this ceiling compared to the style A, which is only this section over here, and style B, which ends over here, is that you have this extended part, like I mentioned before, which is the width of your 12 centimeter hallway. Now, this gap that you have here is going to be hidden by the thickness of your doors. When you look at it sideways, you can clearly see the 6 centimeter thickness of the door covers this area gap over here that separates the front style A and B part and the C hallway in the back over there. Now, when I did this ceiling, I hadn't finished the final skins that you're using today. So that's why you have these little white areas over here. So I'm going to show you how to apply the actual skins on just a mock-up strip so that you'll understand how to get to here. So we're going to want to grab our decals. 6 to 12 we're putting aside for now. Now, when you're going to be doing your ceiling, you're going to need to print 1 time of page 1, 6 times of page 2, 5 times page 3, 5 times page 4, and 1 time page 5. Now let's trim these and then I'll show you on the mock-up how to place them properly. So in all your decals here, these dark lines are folding lines. So you're going to want to fold along these, okay? You don't want to cut that. These are basically the thicknesses of your foam core. So again, this is the exact same method that you did for the ceiling of style A and B. Okay, so using this template, just to show you where the sticker application goes, now you know that in your version, you'll have this wider, it'll continue the full 72 centimeters that you had for your width of your ceiling. Now, what we're going to do is exactly the same as we did for style A and B. We're going to take these long pieces over here, and this will go aligned with the center thickness over here, and it'll go towards the front, okay? This is the front of your diorama, and then this is the rear. This would be better on a black foam core when you cut your shapes, and then the top part would be white, the full frame for the reflection of the lights, okay? So I'm just doing it on white so that you could see what I'm doing. You can apply glue stick like this, okay? So that it'll allow you to manipulate your decal, and if you don't use full-size label sheets like I do, then you'll be applying it on your paper and then applying it also on your foam core. I'm going to find the peeling mark over here, which is this. You want to place your piece here with the 2 dark grooves as close to the lines as possible, meaning that this light bluish area is where it'll be your main beam here. So you want to take this, align that, press that down lightly, and then what you're going to do is that you're going to play with this sideways until you see that your lines here are matching with this beam as well. Pull this until it matches exactly. Then I'm going to press my finger down the center. Then I'm going to move outwards. So center, center out, center outwards like that, and then center out. You'll feel your fingers falling off the beam there, and you can start folding over your decal over the edge like that. And then press and pinch, right? You can flip this over, do the same thing. Make sure that you're flat here, and then carefully wrap this around, okay? If you have little creases like this, it's not as bad as if it was on this side, because this is the exposed diorama side. This no one will see. The lights will be hiding this. Now for the other side, we do the same thing. Slowly from the center, push it over the sides like that. Start pinching. Now this is very fragile, especially the edges. If this was your real end, it's 1.5 centimeters thick. This can break easily. If you've seen my Style B video, my Roxy cat, little kitten at the time, she grabbed it from under the table and like ripped it in half, which made me like, I just completely lost it. All that hard work having to redo it, but I was able to patch it, which was good. So anyhow, then you overlap this, just pull it, pull it, and then again, center, out, center outwards. Okay? If you want to make sure this never undoes itself, you could take a piece of Scotch tape like this and then just apply it at the seam. Now, because your home printer 8.5 by 11 sheets doesn't reach the end here, this is where this end cap comes in, and you're going to align these pale lines with this beam over here to give you like a T. A little bit of glue stick over here. You want to peel this. Be careful when you peel them at the cut here. You don't want to tear the paper, okay? You just want to be peeling the part that is the wax paper, like this. This aligns over here like that, and then I'll just make sure that this fits perfectly with the blue there and the blue there, which it does. Then you can press down. Fold this over first. Fold it on the other side. Fold it here. Then wrap it back over here. Now this lip over here goes around the outside of the front, and then the same thing just folds over. You can do your double protection again, piece of Scotch tape. If you look at it this direction, you should see a little white demarcation over here where the joining of the two decals. However, when you look at it this way, from the view of the front, this overlaps the long part, and so it gives you the illusion that it's one sticker. Don't worry if you see an overlap. When you're doing arts and craft, you can't have it 100% like if you would with a 3D printer, or if it was like in styrene plastic or something like this. It's not 100%, but it still looks cool once the figures and all the lights and everything is done. Now the shorter piece goes in between the rear, the same way as you did here, but it should fit just like that. So a bit of glue stick, peel back the decals. We want to align it flush against here. I want to make sure by pulling this a little bit towards the side that my two inner lines of the folds match up over here with these two edges of my center grid there. Put your pressure on the center, center out, center out. Do your folds, pinch this side there, and then pull, pull, start in the center, out, center, out. This zone is the only difference that you won't see in the style A and B tutorial. Make sure that it's flat here, pull center, out, center out. Scotch tape. Now this is what your beams look like. These long pieces is what goes on the insides of the thinner gaps where you've cut out your ceiling panels. This will align over here, the dark inside, and then this will go and wrap itself around this way, flush. And then you wrap it this way, the same thing over here. This will be hidden by the door, so it doesn't matter if it's white, okay? Now the same technique that you used for these, you use with the small ones for the end caps. Peel. So just place lined up like this with the edge of the beam. Press down, fold over, press the outside, fold over here, press this down, and then wrap that again. And then the same thing goes on the other side. And see how you get these clean edges. And then in the front, you'd be doing the same thing. So this is the positioning of each of your new decals. You just have to repeat it on all of the beams. Follow the techniques that you see in the Style A and B tutorials, and your ceiling will be completed within an hour and a half. Now you can see how your textures just repeat each other all the way across like this to give you the finished ceiling. The only difference is that these exposed areas now have a decal in the finished design that I did. So your version won't look like this, it'll look like this, And then this section here will have the white exposure, which is fine because again, the thickness of the door hides the white. As for the lights, it's the same principle, but instead of curling them all the way around only on one side, you have to curl them around your support beams of this rear hallway section as well. Now you can use one strip or need to use two strips depending on the length of the strip that you buy, but you want to try to cover at least an even amount of space on both ends so that you don't have one really well lit area and then like a dim area in the back. You want the lights to be even. Okay, now let's grab a piece of black foam core and we'll go back to our page 1 of our blueprint over here. And for my design, I need to measure the 15 centimeters all the way across, and then I need to measure 21, 18, and 9. I need 15 centimeters all the way across, so I'm just going to make 15 centimeters over here, and then on this end, 15 centimeters. Let's align this and cut. Let's measure another strip. 15 centimeter. 15 centimeter. Geez, my eyes are getting all blurry. Align and cut. Press down hard on the ruler. You don't want it jiggling around. Okay, the first piece is 9 centimeters, so I'm going to make a mark here. 9. Then I wanted 18 centimeters, so that would make it 27. And then 21, which is 48. 9, 27, 21. I have room for another 21 over here. 21. Okay, let's just slice these. Now I'm going to take this. 9, 27, 9. Slice. Put this aside for now. Slice. So I have my 2 9s, my 2 18s, and my 2 21s. Now for the end caps of each of the center walls, I have to cut out a 5 centimeter thickness of the 15 centimeter height, okay? I forgot to mention that in the blueprints. I'm just going to measure 5 and 5 and get my 2 end caps over here. 5, 10, 5, 10, align, and slice, align, and slice. Now if I grab my template again, then I know that I have my 2 pieces that fit here. Then I have my door. Then I have these 2 middle pieces, my second door, the end piece of the hallway, and the 2 end caps. Again, don't panic. If your design is not exactly the way that I did it, it won't look like this. It depends on the number of doors that you decided to place and the organization of the slots. Now we just have to glue the pieces together to make our wall front and rear. We're going to grab one of our first doors and we're going to put some hot glue on the sides, and then we're going to attach the 21 centimeter piece, making sure that it's flush at the top and bottom and flush in the front over here. So we want to put just a small line of hot glue along the side there, and then just align it flush with the door frame. Try to make sure that it's straight 90 degrees over here, and you want it to be as flush as you can with this. Once the glue is almost dry, you can place it on the floor like this. Make sure that this is pressed against it. Keep some pressure until the glue cools down. Now if I look at my template, this 21 centimeter section over here is what we just installed, which means that this is an end cap. So we're going to take one of our 5 centimeter pieces here, and we're going to just glue it here to make it more sturdy so that this doesn't rip off of the door once you place the top layer. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue here and then align it with the edge. Okay, there will be a decal covering here, so you want a smooth side so that there's no bump in the decal. Make sure it's flush at the top and bottom. Put a bit of pressure on that for maybe 10 seconds. This other piece now is going to slide in. It's going to lean on top of this, flush against the side here. I'm going to apply along the spine of the door a small line of hot glue. Put it at an angle and lower it so it doesn't smudge your decal. Lower it. It could lean here temporarily while you manipulate the front here. The important thing is you want this top and bottom to be a nice flush fit. Keep some pressure on this a little bit. Now for the end cap, we're going to use our index finger to lift this up. And you're going to be putting hot glue on the side of the outer edge here. Carefully put a line of hot glue like this. Let it fall on itself. And you just want to align the top and bottom again and make sure that this is flush. Be careful when you put your fingers inside here that you don't burn yourself with the excess glue that's coming out of the seams there. So nice and flush on the sides and then flush here. So you have one thickness of wall on the outside, okay? Now we're going to add the 18 centimeters that go on the other side of the door. So a line of hot glue, and then apply this. Put some pressure on the bottom of this door because it's very thin, so it's going to want to bend. As long as the top and bottom match perfectly, you know that when you're going to place it on the floor and ceiling, that will sandwich it perfectly 90 degrees. It's critical that it's flat over here and at the top so that it sandwiches perfectly between your floor and ceilings. I'm going to do the other side. Layer of hot glue. See, this one's having trouble squeezing out. Again, it's easier if you angle it this way and lower it. Make sure top, bottom is perfectly aligned. Push this zone here against the spine, okay? You want to have a nice flush wall there. I almost burned myself by putting my thumb on where the glue was still heating. Place it like this and put it to the side for now. We're going to concentrate on this door. Now this door is this section, so it's these two pieces are going to go to the left, and then the end cap will go on this side. Line of hot glue over here, angle this, and then lower. We want to push this zone here. This is going to come along quite nicely. We're almost done after. The longest part is the ceiling. Now we want to put some hot glue here and then attach it on the inside. Line of hot glue. Press it here along the edge. Make sure it fits centered perfectly at the top and bottom, and then play with the flush edge over here. Now we want to put glue on the inside of the other side of the door frame, and then attach this piece first, and then we'll do the outside. A little bit of glue over here, attach it like this, angle, then lower, and center at the height. Make sure that this is nice and even. These don't even have the skins on, and already I'm all excited. I'm seeing the potential. I know what it's going to look like. Okay, I'm going to lift this slightly like I did on the other side, and I'm going to just put some hot glue along the edge there. Hot glue. Lower it. Ow! Geez, I'm talking about don't burn myself. I just did. Oh, great. That's gonna hurt tomorrow. Nice blister. See, even the experienced diorama builders burn themselves from time to time. Oh, that really hurt. Oh, it's stinging now. Dang. I might have to go put some cold water on it before it becomes like a big mess, like a boil. You have to be careful of putting your hands inside your shapes there because of the hot glue drips onto your finger. Oh my God, it's really hurting. Okay, I'm gonna put some pressure on this, and then I'm gonna go put my finger under cold water. Okay, I'm putting cold water. No wonder I'm seeing bad. All this time from the beginning, or at least from the second part that we started I don't remember where it was, but I've been wearing these glasses, and these are my computer glasses. These are my construction glasses. Oh my God, so much clearer. And for all this time, I was going like, my God, my eyesight is becoming really bad. Like I'm having trouble like adjusting the glue and all the stuff like that. And I'm going like, what in the world is happening? And then after burning my finger, which I still have to go put some cold water on it now, I took my glasses off, and then I saw the red on the sides. And then I said, that's my computer glasses, which is a total different distance from what I'm working with. And so I'm going like, Frank, sometimes I wonder how I cope in life. Anyway, I have to go put some cold water on this burn, and then we'll continue. Okay, I'm back with my correct glasses and my finger, a bit of cold water for a minute or two. It feels a bit better, but I have a feeling I'm going to have a big blister tomorrow, but we shall see. So let's continue. We have to connect this section with the right side in order to create our center wall. Are we up to it? Let's get to it. So we're going to put a line of hot glue on the inside of this door frame, and then we're going to snap this middle section along it. Some hot glue, and not on my finger this time, hopefully. Top and bottom. This is nice and flush here at the bottom. I'm going to let that cool down a little bit. Now let's flip this. If I pinch this down, it exposes the side. I can put some hot glue, and then I can slightly bend this, align it, and then push it back together. Some hot glue along the edge of the door spine. Separate it a little bit. Lay it flat on the table. Top and bottom. Perfect. And then press here flush. Wow, that was easier than I thought. There we go. Now we have our wall, which is our number 1 and number 2 wall, which is basically the center front and center rear. And now we have to do the rear piece. I completely forgot to cut that piece, didn't I? We'll have to go get the foam core again and do that cut now. Lucky our sheet was big enough to still give us the rear wall that we need. 15 centimeter here. My finger is still throbbing. I sound like a little crybaby, don't I? Frank burned his finger. 15 for here. Align, press, cut. Move my hand. $72 at the top. Connect and trim. So now we cut an exact 72 by 15 centimeter piece, which is the wall in the back of the diorama. Let's put these aside for now and trim our decals. Now to do these wall skins in between the doors, we need pages 6 to 12. Okay? Now this is if you're doing exactly the version I'm doing. Now, if you don't want to choose these specific exact panels that I chose and you prefer to go with another design, that's fine. That's what's cool about it. It's like Lego. You can just intermix whatever panel you want. You can go to the speed index and you can get the basic hallway panels PDF, which has 19 pages of all the variations that you can find on the movie set. I just noticed that the red light wasn't even on. I've been doing, I don't know when it last stopped recording or whatever. I was so busy complaining to myself about my blister that I've been doing the black Sharpie along all of the decals here, and I cut all of the pieces, and I'm hoping that that was recorded, but if not, well then you'll see what it looks like when I cut these pieces. But Anyhow, oh boy, 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 boy. I am putting the black Sharpie along the outside thickness of the decal so that they don't show a white line when it's placed on the black foam core. So I was saying you want the pencil or the Sharpie pointing towards the decal color side, and you want the decal side to be on the outside so that if you make a mistake and you go like this, it's on the back of the wax paper and not all over your decal. So all you do is the side of the Sharpie like this. I've made so many of these, it goes like really quickly now. You'll get the hang of it. We have lots of Death Star builds coming up. I can't wait. The hallways is the most basic parts. You know, it's the core of it, and the ones that we're doing now, style ABC of the basic hallways, is the shelf, like I was saying 1,000 times now. And when we're going to start getting into the actual Death Star rooms, that's when the builds are going to be really fun. The Falcon Hangar Bay, the Obi-Wan Vader duel, the Princess Leia Luke chasm, the trash compactor, the conference room. There's so many iconic rooms in the Death Star. And then when you put them all together, it's going to look amazing into one giant playset, or at least as big as you can fit in your house. I'm still surprised to this day that after decades of selling toys that Hasbro never made an interlocking Death Star. Like, it's such a missed opportunity for them. I don't get it. I know people would buy it. Okay, let's grab the front of my diorama and then we'll use the little template there that I did. So I know that the F1 is this one. This goes here. And then this will be the center over here. And then this part goes on the outside. And then this halfer goes on the end over there. Might as well start with the center. Why not? Okay, I'm going to make sure that it fits properly and it looks like it aligns beautifully. Some glue. I'm putting my hand underneath because there's no support on the top there. I don't want to crush this after the construction is almost done there. So I can now peel this. One more piece. There's like a white emboss at the top. Okay, that's how you know it's the top of your decal. If it was like this and the white is at the bottom, that's not good. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to align these top lines with these panels here. Now I'm going to align the first one. This should be good. Yes, perfect. Okay, so again, I start here, then down the center, out, remove the air bubbles, air pockets, down center, out. Look at that. How cool is that? Okay, now let's do this side since we're here. I need this piece with the white embossed at the top and then white embossed at the top. Now the reason I'm doing a halfer and then a full is because, say that you have the other diorama that goes here. If on the other side there's a halfer as well, you can take any regular decal and then you can superimpose the regular on top of the halfers to create a continuation of the 6 panels. And then what that'll do is that it will hide the seam that you have of the 2 dioramas. Let's put some glue here. White on the top. Align that. Center. Peel this. I just want this to align properly, and it does. So center up, center down. God, it makes such a difference since I changed my proper glasses. Okay, and then this one is this panel, if I'm correct. Yes, so this is all in one piece as well, so the only thing I have to align is this. Apply. This glue stick is starting to get old, and I'm starting to get hungry. I've not had lunch yet. And what time is it? Computer. Oh my, it's 6:24. No wonder I had a coffee at what was it? 1 o'clock. Okay, so this goes this way. Let's apply it like this, and then make sure that this is aligned, and it looks aligned, and that's aligned. So center, center, center out, center out. I love my little graphics that I do. It's a lot of fun doing Photoshop. And here's the side one. How cool is that? Now we have to do the mirror on this side. But before we do that, let's take this rear wall, since we already prepared these and they have the black Sharpie around them. So this goes there, this goes in the center, and this goes here. Let's do that. Speaking of Peel, did you see the new trailer? The title is really stupid of the movie. It's called, oh geez, I forget what it's called. Not or some don't, or I don't remember what it is. It's a science fiction movie with aliens, alien abductions or something. It looks really cool. And I loved his other movies. Get Out. Oh, 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 oh. No, 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 it's not aligned at the top. Oh no, I just made a huge crease by lifting this. Damn, I'm all excited by that Close Encounter movie. And I'm making a big mess now. Oh, look. See, it dried too quick. I'm making a mess. Oh, crap. Crap, 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 crap. Crap. Or caca, as we would say. See, this dried. This is sold. This glue stick, it's drying too fast. Not good. I should be applying it this way. Let me turn this so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, come on! I don't want to reprint this. I'm making a mess. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, what I wanted is this aligned at the top there. Then down, left. Ugh. Thank God it's a flat surface there. It shouldn't matter that much. Okay, glue stick, don't fail me now. It was terrible before. Like, see, like it's already drying almost. Like there's no goop. It's like a curse all of a sudden on this thing. Yeah, peel. Okay, I want to align this with the top, but then at the same time, I have to make sure that this fits properly on the side here, which it does. So, good enough. And you'll only see this through the 2 doors anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's not 100%. Peel. Want this here, and at the same time, like that. Good, 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 good. I just spit on my decal again. Do you see my spit? So this is my rear wall. Between the rear wall is this. But very cool, because you're going to have the 3D perspective. Okay, now we can do this side. Now cut these. This. Really hungry. The Sharpie! As long as I don't put the Sharpie on the decal and have to reprint and recut everything, that would be terrible at this point there. That's done. Now we can take this crappy caca glue stick. I'm gonna throw it out after this. Oh, it's almost at the end. Can you see? Press without breaking it. Breaking the wall. Oh no! Look, I was telling you what else would go wrong at the end of the video. This stupid glue thing just fell off of its like container. Now this is all dry, likely. Peel. Place this aligned at the top and even with this vertical thing there. Good. aligned at the top. Okay, this may be the last of this glue stick. Aligned at the top. Yeah, good enough. Down the center, center down, center out. One last piece over here. This one big chunky section. Let's finish this glue stick and then I'll have the thrill of throwing it in the trash. Find that. Center out. Okay, this we don't need anymore. Goodbye. You had a nice life. So we have our wall on both sides. We have our back wall. We're ready to assemble. Okay, so we start with the assembly on the ceiling because we want this to be lined up perfectly, and then if it's not perfect on the floor, it doesn't matter because it doesn't have to be aligned with the ceiling grids, right? The outside of your wall is leaning against the edge of this lip here, okay? Which means that the thickness of your foam core is going over the recessed light panels over here. So this is going to go directly from one end to the other like this. What we're going to do here is the same principle where the thickness of the foam core over here is going to lay flush against here, and then the outside of the wall goes overlap the gaps over here. When you look at it this way, if I cheat and go like that, you can see that it overlaps exactly on both sides. But now what we have to decide is in the front here, we have to do supports so that if you're putting another diorama on top of this, it's not going to collapse. And this is where you have the choice of doing large glass doors, corner arches, even a small glass door, or like we're going to use today, the basic support column. So if you want to put a glass door as a support on this side, or a glass door here, or if you even want to put a glass door this way, you know, on either side, that's fine. You can do that. We're putting this upside down in this fashion on the ceiling first. So now what we're going to do is we need to identify the positioning of this space. We're just going to make some small grooves, or not grooves, but markings with our pencil, okay, to show where I have to align this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this sideways, okay? I'm going to see how much the gap is here, and then I'm going to make sure that until we reach here that all of these are the same. I'm putting a small piece of Scotch tape here, and then pressing it down, okay? I'm going to do the same. Make sure not to press in your grooves and make a hole in your paper, which would be a big nightmare at this point. You see that all of the spacing here is identical, okay? Scotch tapes. So that's going to allow me to put some drops of hot glue here, and then I'll be able to lift this, and then it'll fall right in place where I want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit over here, and then a little bit over there, overhang there. Okay, so then a little glob there, a little glob there, here, 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 and here, and then here. Flip it, and then press it down, keep some pressure on it. Oh, I could see through. Okay, that's good. I could see that it's all in the right places. Okay, I want to attach the support column to the corner, left corner here, which will become the right front. You want to make sure that, again, the top is at the top, touching the ceiling. Okay, you want this side, it doesn't matter, I prefer to have the neons facing, depending on what decal and sticker skin that you want to put might vary on your version. But you want this side to be flush over here, okay? And then in the front, you want the lip to be over this part. You want 1 centimeter over here. I'm going to put some hot glue, like that. So flush here, and then I'm looking down like a periscope, and I want this to be flush there as well. And press down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take the top of the arch here, which is going to go against the ceiling, and I'm going to put the 1.5 panel against the wall here. Okay, so I'm going to be leaning it against there, and then I'm going to be putting it flush along the side, and then it should be about 1 centimeter in the front here, like we see over here for the column. So like the other piece, we don't need much hot glue here, so just a little dab here, 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, just enough for it to stick. Then I'm going to press it against the back here, let it fall down, and I want to make sure that it's 1 centimeter in the front, like that, which is good. And then flush here, and then it should arrive halfway with one of these beam supports there. Keep some pressure on, 10-15 seconds. Now that's done, I want to secure a little bit between the arch and the side of the wall here. So I want to squeeze these a little tighter. Do you see here there's a small gap? So I want to put a bit of hot glue there so that I can smush these together and make a tighter fit. I'm pressing here like a lobster clamp, and then I'm pressing here at the top. Now while this dries, I forgot to put a sticker on this end piece, so I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to be placing that there. So I'm going to just put some Sharpie over here on the sides, glue stick, peel this. So then I'm just going to align this a bit to the top. So I'm going to use my nail, and I'm just going to bring it up, and as I bring it up, I'm going to bring it around. So it's just going to blend the sticker better. All we have left is our rear wall here. So we're going to grab our panel. Remember, the top goes to the ceiling. What you want is the thickness of the foam core to be just hanging over the edge here. You don't want it on the inside. We also want it flush to the left and right. You don't want it sticking out either side. What we're going to do, we're going to use the same tape technique that we did for here. So I'm going to take a little piece of Scotch tape, and then I'm just going to lower it like this. Bring this flush until it arrives to the edge. Then I'm going to put a piece of Scotch tape over here, bring it up, press it down in the corner. Okay. Actually, I'm going to take this and put it on the inside so that it could lean on something. And then I'm going to take this and lean it like that for now. Just like here. And then I'm going to press it against, press it down, and then press it against the base there. What I'm going to do now is the black exposed parts, I'll be able to put a dab of hot glue behind this, and that'll cement the back to this. I don't want to put any hot glue on the blue zones because this is where the holes are for the lights, and the light panels will tear, the paper will tear with the heat, and then you'll have a big hole in the ceiling, which is something we do not want. I'm going to remove this for now. Okay, it's pretty much where it's going to be. It's even everywhere. It's centered left and right. I'm going to put a temporary Scotch tape here to the blast door so that this doesn't fall forward when I put the glue. So again, only on the black zones, a drop over here to create contact, a little drop there. I know it's in the blue, but here in the black, in the black, in the black, there, here, and in the corner. You have to put some pressure underneath the ceiling or on the top of the ceiling for it to touch the black properly. If not, it's not going to align. Boring part is holding the glue to make sure that it's really tight on the ceiling. Now I'm going to glub over here, over here. Keep some pressure on this a little bit. No, it's still not set. Almost. It's like peanut butter now, the glue. So it's almost done. Now there's no visible gaps underneath, which is good. I can take this away now. And then from the top, this is what it looks like. So you have your hallway. I'm going to remove this before it touches the decal. Okay, this is still fragile because it's not on the floor yet. And then so this is your in-between wall. Then the rear of this. So this is your walking this way, and then this is the front version. Now we have to mount this ceiling. Remember this seam that we had here? Now this is to go and be hidden from the back wall. What we're going to want to do is you want to place it so that it's flush over here, a centimeter over the front, and here the same thing, a centimeter over here, but as flush as you can there. I know I want a centimeter here, which is the same as here, so I'm just going to put a little demarcation here so I know where that aligns. The same thing over here. Now that I have my markings, I'm just going to push this forward like this, okay, just to expose enough of the 4 drops that I want to put in order to lay this flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm aligning my marks that I put here, and then I'm pressing down with this. So this is flush here, which is good. This is flush here, which is good. Put some pressure on that, maybe 10-15 seconds. Okay, this is dry. Let's go on the other side. Okay, what we want to do is lift this slightly, put a dab of hot glue along the edges, not here. Okay, this we do last. So I'm lifting here, drop, 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 drop. That's all I need. And then I'm going to lower this adjustment to my 1 centimeter. Put that flush. Beautiful. Now I just have to push here while I keep this. I just need to bring this flush. Then press this down. Yeah. My arms might be causing lots of shadows, but this is the way. It's like doing yoga or something. It's like I'm pulling with one hand towards the front, pressing down with the right. What was that game there that you put the color circles? Twister. Good, 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 good. Okay, now we're going to flip this around. I'm going to start by pulling it a centimeter here and pressing down. It works best with my hand. I'll put my hand underneath, and then I'm just going to do small sections at a time. There's 1 centimeter is approximately that. That looks good. A blob over here, a blob there. And now I am going to just press firmly. Then the next video I'm going to be doing is showing you how to stack the 3 styles together. So we're going to do the center. It looks like it's nicely aligned at the 1 centimeter. Glub, 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 glub. Put the hand for support and press down. all we need is 3 more globs. We want to make sure that we have our 1 centimeter here. So make sure to advance this until it's the distance that you want. Put your finger on it. Then do the blob. 1, 2, and 3. Make sure not to burn yourself. Put your hand underneath and press down. Keep this pressure for about a minute or 2 until the big globs cool down. Oh, look how amazing that looks. Because you have a 12 centimeter distance here between this wall and the doors, it really adds a full dimension, especially when you see it in person. Not only do you have a full length hallway in the front, now when you look at the side, you have a 12 centimeter hallway, just like when Princess Leia was coming down with the stormtroopers to see the destruction of Alderaan. And there you have it. Your Style C basic hallway is complete. Now all you have to do is build some more, and you can stack them one on top of each other or side to side. I'll show you how to do that in a separate video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It really is one of the coolest of the 3 builds. I'm sure that if you only had to choose one, this is the one you'd be doing. If you liked the video, please subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And ring the bell if you want to be notified for upcoming videos and tutorials like the one you just watched today. If you build stuff at home, make sure to send me your pictures at dioramaworkshop.com at gmail.com so we can put them in the visitors gallery. Okay, well, I think that's it for now. Frank Diorio, ciao. See you later. Thanks for watching DioramaWorkshop.com. If you want more interactivity, you can follow us on these multimedia platforms. If you have a question about past or future Star Wars Celebration workshops, send me an email at dioramaworkshop.com at gmail.com. If you have a Facebook account, join the official Star Wars Celebration Diorama Builders fan club today. If you like the video, please subscribe, share, and tell your friends to come check us out. If you want to see even more Star Wars Celebration crew coverage, click on the link to warp to dioramaworkshop.com, the official Star Wars Celebration Diorama Builders website.